the process of ecosystem restoration isn't just about replanting trees or cleaning a river. It's also about rebuilding and reconfiguring our relationship to nature and to one another. Restoration, restitution. These are things that extend into ourselves and our systems and our ways of being, that of course include repairing the damage to the land and the water and the sky, as well as the damage to ourselves and our neighbors.
What this approach does, it really speaks to something that's probably the most dear to all of us individually and in communities, and it speaks to our hearts. It reaches places that technical and bureaucratic language and approaches probably have difficulty reaching. And that's, I think, why we find constantly that people resonate with this idea of talking about values, culture, and spirituality.
We are as this manifestation of life, which is in nature, which is in the humans, which is in all these forms that are alive. And it's about exactly that awareness. As we transform ourselves, which most of religion and spirituality talk about, we transform also the outside. We express it in the world.
Why don't we race to the bottom? Why are we constantly racing upwards and taking spaces when something that we again see in nature is this idea of holding space for each other while sharing our discomforts, while sharing this constant nagging feeling of doing something, of being something. It was honestly being in a community where we felt that, wow, I'm not alone. Everybody feels this way. This is where the idea of spirituality and community comes together for me.
Science is our attempt to translate the language of the rest of nature. Science is our attempt to understand, the mother tongue of the forests, of the rivers, the insects, the deserts. For a real understanding of the true nature of that language, science needs spirituality. The more than human world speaks in the language of deep time. It speaks in the language of inwardness, of silence, of the systemic sacred. And I think without a spiritual lens to restoration, it's very difficult actually for the scientific world, the policy world, those that are doing restoration work around the ground to really water the seeds of a more liberated approach, not only just for humans and our economic systems, but also for nature.